I don't oppose war in all circumstances, and when I look out over this crowd today, I know there is no shortage of patriots or patriotism. What I do oppose is a dumb war.
Us rushing headlong into a war unilaterally was a mistake and may still be a mistake. If it has happened, then at that point what the debate's really going to be about is what's our long-term commitment there? How much is it going to cost? What does it mean for us to rebuild Iraq? How do we stabilize and make sure that this country doesn't splinter into factions between the Shias and the Kurds and the Sunnis?
I've looked at the evidence. I'm a hawk when it comes to defeating terrorism. I was strongly supportive of Afghanistan. I would have picked up arms myself to prevent 9/11 again. I don't think the president has made the case on Iraq because I don't see weapons.
You said this before.
I said this in October of 2002, 6 months before the war was launched.
If you had been a member of the Senate, you would have voted against the resolution.
Yes. And I also, and this raises a broader issue of the Democratic Party. I think it's important for us to stand our ground and take our licks, rather than what sometimes is our habit, which is to cave and then whine about it afterwards, which makes us not only look weak but also petty.
It sure does.
Most of you know that I opposed this war from the start. I thought it was a tragic mistake. Today we grieve for the families who have lost loved ones, the hearts that have been broken, and the young lives that could have been. America, it is time to start bringing our troops home. It's time to admit that no amount of American lives can resolve the political disagreement that lies at the heart of someone else's civil war. That's why I have a plan that will bring our combat troops home by March of 2008. Let the Iraqis know. Letting the Iraqis know that we will not be there forever is our last best hope to pressure the Sunni and Shia to come to the table and find peace. And there's one other thing that it's not too late to get right about this war, and that is the homecoming of the men and women, our veterans, who have sacrificed the most. Let us honor their courage by providing the care they need and rebuilding the military they love. Let us be the generation that begins that work.
For President Obama, it's the war on terrorism 2.0. Meeting with his own coalition of the willing of Arab partners during meetings of the United Nations, Mr. Obama warned this new fight won't be over soon.
And because of the almost unprecedented effort of this coalition, I think we now have an opportunity to send a very clear message that the world is united.
And the battle is only beginning, as the U.S. and its partners are not only taking on ISIS, but an al-Qaeda-linked group the president never mentioned in his speech to the nation earlier this month. A period of secrecy, administration officials say they used to size up Khorasan for a potential strike.
We also took strikes to disrupt plotting against the United States and our allies by seasoned al-Qaeda operatives in Syria who are known as the Khorasan Group.
It's also a new day for the president, who once won a Nobel Peace Prize after building his political career promising to get the U.S. out of what he called dumb wars, a vow he reiterated almost 1 year ago.
I was elected to end wars, not start them. I've spent the last 4.5 years doing everything I can to reduce our reliance on military power as a means of meeting our international obligations and protecting the American people.
Now, Mr. Obama is playing terrorist whack-a-mole, considering the countries he's targeted as president. One fellow Democrat complained too much power has been yielded to the commander-in-chief.
If Congress allows the president to begin this campaign against ISIL, and as he said, go on offense against ISIL, without Congress authorizing it, we will have created a horrible precedent.
The strikes have set a tough new tone for the president's trip to the UN. It was up to his UN ambassador, Samantha Power, to notify Syria that the strikes were coming. The uncertain aftermath hanging in the air when the president visited Bill Clinton.
As he strives to stop bad things from happening around the world, the rest of us are supposed to do more to make good things happen.
I've served as a soldier for over 16 years and served in Iraq in 2005 in a medical unit where every day I was confronted with the high human cost of war. I remember those who I served with, who gave their lives in service to our country. And I think of my friends who are still serving in harm's way today. So nothing angers me more than to see the hypocrisy every Memorial Day by warmongering politicians and media pundits who feign sympathy for those who paid the ultimate price in service to our country while simultaneously advocating for more counterproductive regime change wars, the new Cold War and arms race. The way to honor our troops who sacrifice their lives for our country is to work to prevent unnecessary, costly wars, which will result in the death of many more of my brothers and sisters in uniform. Memorial Day is a time to remember that war should only be waged as the very last resort to keep the American people safe.